Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Marilyn, and for those who are new in our platform, please feel free to check out my profile. Check out the previous videos that we have done because today is very special. We have some live audience here, both in person and Zoom, and today we will be discussing around aligning your business transformation with your organization's goal. So to start with, I would like to introduce my panelists again. So please give us some time to do the introduction for those who already knew our panelists and speakers as well for today. So just a very short introduction. I just wanted to introduce, of course, from the one beside me, it's Paul. I'm sure for those who have been following us in our platform, he has been actually supporting us as well. I had an interview with him, and even today, he gave us a lot of very thought-provoking questions, especially around the capacities that I'm still thinking about since I had my interview with you last probably
3 or 4 months ago.
4 months ago, yes. So it's going to be interesting to hear more about leadership and how it can actually help in business transformation and help businesses or business owners to be able to actually align that with their organizational goals as well, right? So, and of course, the beautiful Lorraine, Lorraine Matumul. She's the president and CFO of Impextic, which is a logistic company. And I really appreciate how she shared her humbling experience and journey to business. And it has also inspired me, to be exact, because I wouldn't say that I'm new in business, but um, I'm still very like probably a baby or a toddler, I guess, compared to both you and your husband, Kernan. And of course, my friend here, Mike, who brought, there's a lot of designation to Mike, but I'll just call him Mike. He owns, he has his own company, UHY, Mike, sorry, ML Aguirre. So, and he has a lot of certifications as well, which proves that you're in good hands when you work with him, because definitely a continuous learner as well as a leader. Every leader has to be a continuous learner first of all, right? And I'm really impressed how like an accountant, how a CPA, how an auditor actually like explore a lot of things, including AI, which you have also discussed. And at the same time, like doing events as amazing as this one as well and more. So, and he's also a friend and a mastermind for me as well. And of course, Kernan, not the last but not the least, he's an IT, owns tech support as well. And he's been doing a lot of IT stuff, tech support for a lot of businesses here in the Philippines and soon globally. And yeah, so to start with, again, the purpose of this conversation is basically for us to be able to integrate uh, why we had that talks and why are we having this conversation as well, right? Because at the end of the day, what's in it for me, right? As a business, why am I here and what am I gonna use this conversation and all these learnings from the four of them, right? So to start with, I'd like to ask a question, which I would like to address to Mike, and you can get your mic, your microphone. So I'm just curious to know, you mentioned several platforms earlier. You've shared with us and even showed us all those platforms which are has AI component to it, right? So how can AI um, powered tools like ERA, that you did I pronounce it correctly? ERA, right? ERHA can transform the business's approach in terms of risk assessment?
Thank you for asking, Ms. Marilyn. Thank you everyone for listening, both on Zoom and on site. Very good question. As I mentioned, I've been in business for 20 years, more than 2 decades, and I've seen companies, they lose money, okay, because unnecessarily they like busy in their own activities, but they neglect the basic things like reviewing their financials or having control in their financials. ERHA, or Enterprise Review Health Assessment, is a tool for you. It's an AI-powered tool for you to be reminded about your financial affairs. Most of the time, I've seen small amounts of money being stolen to billions of money being stolen because you neglect to really be on guard or safeguard your assets, specifically cash, inventory, and other tangible items, or even intangible items. So I shared something, a classic example, no, in Antique. I cannot mention the company, but a small amount of money that this started with a small amount that was uncovered for one time, and it became a habit, and it's actually ballooned to like 40 million after 6 years. So you don't want to be really caught off guard, having lost the amount of money without you being really warned of. Okay, that's why this tool is a tool for you to detect. Okay? You can do this on a regular basis, whether a month or quarterly or an annual. In fact, in accounting, we have the 3 lines of defenses. Your first line is your internal. Okay, meaning if you have internal audit, okay, you can actually detect any unscrupulous things that happen, or red flags. You have also your management, or they call it governance. So your governance, they're supposed to be in control, okay, of your finances and the financial resources of the company, especially if this is a big company. Maybe closed company, okay, the company I mentioned actually is, I would say it's a public because it involves more than 100,000 members. Okay?
Wow.
All right, so that money is actually not theirs. The third one is the auditors. We, as auditor, actually we are part of the defense. So we have to, if we are doing our job, there shouldn't be any kind of loss in the sources of the company. That's my goal and objective. And with AI, I believe it will be easier because without AI, I think you need a lot of time or resources. But with AI, like you integrate things and probably the efforts, because we have already AI that's already available in cloud, or actually it's available everywhere. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you so much. Very well. Yes. I really love how you've answered my question and how you have actually integrated it in such a way that how would business benefit from using AI, and the importance of actually not only like minding their business financially wise, risk assessment wise, but also like not only looking at the numbers, but how can you actually make it easier and efficient for you through the help of technology like AI, right? So thank you so much for answering that question. And my next answer goes to KERNAN. So although in your presentation earlier, you have already made mention about the challenges that organizations do face when it comes to using IT technology. And now that we're in this century where we can't get away but make use of IT and technology, right? In our business, mainly to automate and to make life easier for us, right? So, but what would you say would be the common challenge that your clients do face when it comes to integrating IT solutions, and how can these challenges be overcome?
Well, first, I'd like to say thank you to everybody, people online, to customers. Shout out Archiriano, Broadcam, from my house, Isabella, Bernabe, owners, Jong Avenido. Hello. So yun. I need to do the needful. so, well, the challenges really is understanding. If if you don't see that there's a need, that's a big problem. Right? You need to be in an open state. You need to erase what you know, try to absorb new things, and then try to be an observer
Mhm.
before trying to be the owner of your company. Sometimes you need to step back and understand what's the problem. Then find somebody that you can trust. Doesn't mean me, but somebody that who knows stuff in IT that perhaps give you a different perspective, right? On how you can grow your business, scale it to the point that you want your business to be. That's the main areas of, I think, the number one you need to address. Because IT sometimes is being I showed you the slide earlier, right? You always see a technician fixing a computer. That's not IT. That's just maybe one of the 100 things that what IT can do. But bottom line is IT has a lot of potentials in your business. And it can lead to like lead generation services, create you a lot of prospects for your business. Awareness campaigns for your specific target market. You want to grow specifically in Bulacan. You want to know that in every areas in Bulacan, you're that specific provider of that specific product. Or you are in Iloilo, wherever you are into franchising. You need to grow your business across the Philippines so that everybody will know your brand. So understanding it, the potential is always a key there. That's it.
Oh, thank you,
Okay,
thank you. So I really appreciate that you've actually made mention about like really making sure that your clients or business people to be aware first and foremost, because without us being aware what the problem is,
Hmm.
how can we actually
Objective.
exactly the objective, the goal, as well as the problem, without identifying both, how can we actually move forward to offering the right solutions to the needs of the organization? Because again, even if like businesses have some principles and foundation to it, there's always like changes or differences. I mean, depending on the type of business that you're actually running as well, right? So, for those who are actually watching us live
A lot.
on social media, aside from in person and Zoom, I would like to invite you to also join us in this conversation. Let us know your questions, your aha moments, whether. Yes, you have a question, Miss Bless.
Yay.
Question that I have is the tech support, would it be
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Diba?
can we use the tech support for virtual assistants? And can we also use this for small and medium enterprises?
Okay.
Kernan.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Yeah, of course. We have customers that just actually 5 employees only, or some are just one employee company, but they need to create us for us to create websites for them, create a call center system for them. So yeah, definitely. We do cater to any type of businesses from one employee company or a large multinational company. We have been doing that since 2002. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
My client can. Thank you for your question, Miss Bless. You have any other question? Okay,
Oh.
please do so.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to congratulate for this inspiring event. And may question ako para kay Colonel.
Okay.
About one office.
Oh yeah, about one office. Yeah,
I have a couple of questions.
sure.
About one office, nakita ko kasi kanina na yung mga time and attendance, is it a mandatory module in the ERP or can we take it down? Or
Customization.
how do we add another module? Do we need an expert like you or is it just a drag and drop thing?
Oh, thank you for those very good questions. First is there's a lot of modules inside one office. Time and attendance is one of them. And you can turn off any modules anytime specific to a user in a company. Like in a company, you want, let's say, they can only see CRM, customer relationship management module. So that specific employee can only see CRM. So we can turn it off. Now, on your next question, if you need to add another module, that's actually our job. So we don't charge our customers for it. So a lot of IT companies charge you for that. But what we believe, software should be there already for our customers so that the same company in your industry can also benefit it from. So if in case there's a module that's missing, we'll be glad to put it. Believe me, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. Another one?
Hi, ma'am.
Hello,
How are you? Thank you for coming.
I'm Leonard Ang,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the founder of Condominium. And we have been in business for quite some time.
Oh, yes.
We met you.
Lucky supply.
Yeah, we're fortunate as well. But I don't think we were able to maximize your services. Like we're mostly now on the lower level. Scale. So how do we access the other services? Like we are now in the process of automating the property management system in our company. So we just need to have a vehicle
Yes.
to which we can more or less upgrade the whole system and be updated. I think we need to first. We have an in-house property management. We, the board, the owners, manage the building ourselves. And Alexis is one in charge of the admin. And she's also in charge of the conversion to an automated system.
Yes.
Very happy if we will be able to expand our relations, your services to ours,
Definitely.
and see how we will be aligning this, whatever you have to say here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I miss our talks. We had a nice dinner last time and before the pandemic, and I'd love that back again. Yeah.
I've been introduced to AI actually by my youngest
Oh,
son. Remember
yeah.
him? Yes. So I had some conversation with AI.
Yes.
I'm 72 years old, by the way.
And actually, I love our discussions, no? And when we had a talk, and I'm really happy that you're really fast in terms of learning, and I really appreciate on having such really great customers like Ma'am. But of course, going back to the question, actually, I have asked my people to already go around to all of our customers for them to use one office. It's actually part of the service. You don't need to pay anything for it. So specific to you, to your operation. So one office already has the capability to send recurring invoices to your customers for their monthly dues automatically. So if you have, I know, diba, you have like monthly dues to your customers in it because I know customer. And it has the capability to send monthly, and it has SOA, statement of account. I know what you need. I'm a businessman. So there's a SOA. So it can send statement of accounts to your customers, and they can click the link to pay via GCash, Paymaya, or whatever. And the invoice that you send to the customer automatically gets paid. So reconciled na siya automatically. So we can do that. So it will actually lessen a lot of load in your operations. Yeah. Let's do that. There's a follow-up question.
Yes.
Wow.
Right, right.
Okay. Yeah. Hello. Introducing myself again. What Ma'am Nenet mentioned, I'm Alexis, and I'm handling the development, the automation. So aside from the sending of the SOA invoices, something, we are also in the process of automating our facilities management. So just wanna ask if tech support is amenable in developing a system in connection with that.
Yeah, actually, we already have that module. It's called CMMS, Computerized Maintenance Management System. It's already there. We just need you to help us put the final touches. In fact, in this room, actually, a good friend of mine, Senen, is into that as well. He's actually involved with hospitals. His customers are actually in the hospital industry. So it's in a similar process that you require. So like in a hospital, you need to maintain a lot of equipments, CT scan, X-ray machines, needs PFS. Same thing with condominium, like you need to do maintenance of air conditioning units. You need to change like a lot of breakers, whatever. So yes, it's already there. We just need you to help us fine tune it. So Dominic is here, one of my partners in the business. So yeah, we'll do that, of course. Yeah, I'm happy to do.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, another one? Okay.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Neddy. I was invited with Ma'am Marilyn. I'm Neddy from food manufacturing. I'm also in like this and learning and development. I am the founder and the president of KERNAN. And I have a question for three. Parang sa ano lang. With tech support, knowing si Sir, I forgot Sir. Pagdating sa mga taxes and everything,
Mike.
is it supported with the tech support? And if it's supported, okay ba siya with our current policy ng BIR? Siyempre, compliant kasi is one of our main concerns. And that is a Sir Paul, knowing na, yes, we have all AI as of the moment. That's the how can we as an HR manager, what will be the job of a manager if everything goes AI? And is it supported with the tech support? So, magkakarugtong po Thank you.
Who would like to start?
Okay, that's a truly fascinating question. But I'll ask quickly. That's still considering that your structure looks like a triangle, whether it's upside down or right side up. But if your structure looks like a circle, does the title of manager really mean something? No, it doesn't. The challenge that we're facing here is that we're so used to the triangle, whether it's upwards, upside down, sideways, whichever way you put it. We're so used to seeing that we cannot imagine a world that's a circle. We can't. But just to give you an idea, I used to work with an Italian fellow, and he was the head of markets in the largest private bank in Italy. So I'm sure he wasn't a small guy. But you look at his calling card, you know what it said? Responsible. It didn't have a title, it just said responsible.
Yeah.
Period. Unfortunately, here in Asia, we are very hierarchical. And, you know, everybody has to have a title. Even when you board the Jeep, you call the Jeep driver, say, right? But that's us as a culture. It doesn't mean that we cannot work without it. Okay? But we have to get that thinking where, as a manager, are you really in control? Really? When you have even 10 people you're working with, you're a manager, you have 10 people reporting to you. Every time you give instructions, how many of them get it wrong? How many? Or at the very least, how many of them understand it the same way? So when you look at your question as to what will happen to the work of the manager, maybe it's the title that you're worried about. Let's just focus on getting the work done to get your organization where you want it to go. I'll use an example. I think it was Sir Winston, when he gave his opening statements. If you look at Amazon, now Amazon is a huge company, and yeah, you could say it's a big company. Don't use it as a comparison. But just listen to me for a moment. If you look at Amazon's strategy, its base strategy has not changed. What's the strategy? Deliver faster, better, and cheaper than anybody else. That has not changed. But why they're good at it is, if I'm not mistaken, the word Sir Winston used, is the ferocity by which they do it. I'll give you another example that maybe is a little closer to your heart. I graduated hotel and restaurant administration long time ago. And my first class about restaurants was, you know, a restaurant is good when you order food today, you come back 1 year later and the food tastes exactly the same. Now, I don't want to mention any names, but there's only one restaurant that can do that. That has the same taste no matter what store you go to, what time of the day you go to, it tastes exactly the same. I'm not saying it's good. What I'm saying is it tastes exactly the same. If you look at that organization, you look at the ferocity that they stick to their standards and train their people. And that's how they get there. Okay? So in the future, yes, you might have the title of a manager. The saddest part of it, you'll still be accountable to your boss about it, right? But guess what? That's what you get paid more for than the other guy. All right. I don't know if that answers your question, does it? Okay. Mike.
Thank you also. But actually, your question is I have to answer that like maybe like a day. You know why? But let me put it this way, because the question is whether it's the compliance of the system. Right? Actually, given the regulation right now, whatever you use, whatever our tax bureau actually requires everything to be registered, or they should be in the system. Okay, so that's the primary rule. But given now the current situation, so that you have like 3 choices. So if you're using tech support, you can actually continue doing the tech support without you registering it. But the output should be registered. So what I'm saying, let's say you're talking about the association dues from the condominium, right? So there is issuing SOA.
Statement of account.
So that SOA is actually doesn't have to be registered. Okay? But the manner of collection, when you collect, should be issued by the OR official receipt. So that's the one actually registered. Okay? Under the current.
So it's not need to be registered.
Under the current setup. Okay? But soon, because you're using already a manual, a platform, that platform captures whether your input or your output. That's the feature. But at the moment, whether you would like to do manual, you have a system like tech support, you want to register everything, including the platforms of them, that can be also an option. But the point is, okay, it's a very good question for AI. In fact, if you've seen the law, the presentation of the law, they have to modernize, they have to make it accessible, easier for the taxpayer. So, and the good thing with that is actually it makes accessible even the manner of payment. So, for example, KERNAN, the tech support captures the information. Whenever they remit that, to the condominium, they have to withhold. That's the law, as I mentioned a while ago. So there's so many there's so many things that you have to observe. But I think the goal of, as of now is just a question whether you want to register that or not. But it's an option for you. So at the moment it cannot be, but soon it has to be. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. But I think one more thing that I can advise to tech support, and for those who would like to avail the service of tech support for them to really scale up and be more marketable, is get a license with BSP. You know, now even our system Babylon 2K, we're registered with BSP as an OPS provider, an operator payment system. Okay, but once you have that, I think you're more marketable. Okay, you can scale up. Thank you. I'll pass the phone to microphone.
That's why Mike is here. So for my compliance, Mike is there for me. So you've been helping us for 15 years. So I'm happy that this guy is with me, is in my at my back. So going back to your question, ma'am, about HR. Well, one office is a tool for HR. So it's not something that may cause problems for the workforce of the HR department. In fact, it can enhance how you work, like give you notices on the employees that are reaching 6 months already. You need to send an announcement to the app to all of the employees that you have a new policy that you want to implement. You want to see if they have really time in the company or not. So I would see that it can be detrimental from in your perspective. I think it is really helpful for any organization to enhance what you already have. So going back to any collaboration with Mike and Paul, yes, that's already there on the table with them. Mike is helping me out on any compliance requirement. Paul also on any additional context in that regard. So yeah, thank you. Any questions?
So hope that answers your questions, Ms. Debbie. And then it's a great question. And again, that's the purpose of what we're doing here, is to integrate whatever like different aspects that we can support you with. So thank you for that. And oh, there's another question.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Maria Zapanete, so CEO of Classified Consultancy. So actually, my question would be to all of you. It's related to everyone, but I'm an accountant, by the way.
Oh,
So it's related to accounting. So what can you say about that the Philippines is being left out when it comes to digital age? Because if you notice, during pandemic, we're working remotely. And in the US, the UK, and Australia, they outsourcing the accounting services. But I'm tapping international, but I'm more into helping Filipino as well to adapt the digital age. So it's related to serve to tap the any process. But in a way, as an accountant, according to Sir Paul, because if we're an accountant, right, how can we say to the CEO that we need to improve our system, right? So how, because some of the accountants in the Philippines sometimes I think need to say what will be beneficial to the company. So you get my point, sir. So sorry. So what can you say about that?
Another story from my multi-storied life. I actually had the opportunity to meet Lance Kokomway face to face. But this was way back when Presto Ice Cream was still alive. I don't know if do you know Presto Ice Cream?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, good. All right, excellent. Okay. And I was offering him a new type of refrigerated vanilla ice cream, which today is actually quite common. If you look out the road, you look at the refrigerated truck, the one with the refrigerator, it's made out of fiberglass. Okay, we were introducing it then, and that was 1990. And I was with my manager, sales manager. And when Mr. Kokomway showed up, he was saying, "Look how beautiful it is." Blah 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 blah. You know what I told Mr. Kokomway? That'll save you $3,000 a month. And he said, "Let's look into it." Okay, you're an accountant. You should be able to express number-wise what it means to the owner of the company. I can assure you, even in sales, if I go up to a company owner and I tell him, hey, look, we've got this beautiful system, blah, 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 blah. And if I just told him, hey, we can save you 20,000 a month, who do you think he's going to listen to? Okay. Now, being timid, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't work to say that my work will show for itself. That's not true. Because at the end of the day, somebody will be doing work just as good as you, but he can speak up and you can't, and you're in trouble. Another analogy, very similar to what you're looking for about speaking up. When I ask people here, how many of you want to get promoted? Raise your hand. How many of you? Raise your hand. Okay, good. How many of you have actually told your boss, I want to get promoted? One only. Okay? Sometimes it's simply you haven't told him or you asked. Let's say there's an opening in the position, and this is true again. I was working with another company, another big company, international. And the guy I worked with said, Paul, I have a problem. I want that position, which is like, it was director for geography. And this was geography countries, not just one country. And he said, I want that position, but I have a funny feeling may paborito na. Sabi niya. And then I asked him, have you ever told your boss you want the position? No. Good. Tomorrow go tell him you want it and ask him, what am I supposed to do to get it? He got the promotion simply by asking. Now, being able to speak up is very important. Okay? Please, please, please don't say that my work will do it. Now, you have to speak up, especially if it's something important. And I'll give you some keywords. If you're terrified of your boss and you're afraid to speak up, what you'll say is you'll prompt like this. Hi, boss. What's your name again? Forgive me. I'm Marianne. And you know, I'm actually terrified to speak to you. I have something very important to say. Will you listen? Do you think he's going to say no? Please. You can use those words. And you can tell him the old fat guy on the stage told me to say that.
Mr. Ray, would you like to comment something?
Well, with regards to logistics side, when the time of pandemic, we're literally operational. So I don't think like we felt like a home. I mean, like working in a home. Well, partly, but then again, the service that we have rendered, it's more on physical. No?
Yeah.
So in that way, well, continuous talaga yung logistics of business.
Operations.
There is no exemption at all. That's the thing that I'd like to share.
Well, in the accounting world, Mariano, we are in the same profession. And thank you for being, observant. You know, so that's why I mentioned to you about the ease of doing business. Because I would say the barometer of the attractiveness of Philippines when it comes to investment. Well, two things. I think instead of ranking, we are really left behind, I would say. But Filipinos, as a country, the marketability is still there. You know, the FDI, regardless of the politics or the politicians, we have the fundamentals that are really strong. We have our people. We speak English. Okay? We have the resources. This kind of thing that we do, this is about something in our future. But to tell you, 2023, now early part of 2024, I would say there's really an influx, a very good number of like FDIs, the foreign direct investments. You've seen the report about BUI. There was like about 1.5 trillion worth of investments last year, and they're going to surpass this next year, considering that we are all active. So the role of accountant, as I mentioned to you, I'm good. I'm happy that they are catching up when it comes to the laws. Okay, like ease of paying taxes. There are like representatives there, which are really very technical. I commend them. So we are catching up. To disclose myself, I am a member of the Attorney Jerry's here. I'm a member of the Tax Management Association of the Philippines. This law actually was even crafted like 3 years ago, and they're like it's already like heated, no? They fed that to the Congress to get someone to sponsor the law. So it's actually a process of when and who actually to adopt and implement that. We are catching up. Miss Marianne, right? Like in Babylon. So you're saying, I mean, in terms of support. So actually, we promote also the agility, meaning the support of accountants is not supposed to be only available in the central business district. It has to be everywhere. And that's where the reasonableness of our business support, meaning the more supply you have, the lower the cost is for our business. And that adds to the attractiveness of the Philippines as an investment destination. I hope I add something to your I added something to your question. Thank you.
Yeah, my take on it is quite a little different. It's like to be different. In every economic downturn, in every like challenges, us entrepreneurs are actually in the better position to find opportunities. In fact, in the IT, when all of the
yung last question.
IT professionals are actually leaving for Singapore or the US, for that matter. Way back 2002, I saw a need. Okay, that's why I were able to start tech support at PH. Now, in a economic downturn, CPAs, accounting firms, you're actually in a better position. So in every downturns or we are lagging behind, as an entrepreneur, actually just sharing to everybody here that are also entrepreneurs, I love downturns. In fact, during the pandemic, we never let go of any employee during the pandemic. We actually, everybody was still having their job. A lot actually lost jobs, of course, but we're not happy about that, of course. But we're just proud that in every economic downturn, we need to find what makes you special and find that special in you and make the best of it. I'm sure you're really good at what you do.
Thank you for your questions. For the purpose of time, we will be actually we have another question.
Yeah, I'm sorry to be the last one to ask the question. I'm Boise BL of the Leather Collector. And I would like to address this to KERNAN. You know, I have been very excited as far as AI is concerned. And I have adopted to it and ChatGPT for quite some time, you know, ever since it came out. And my biggest concern actually is the fear of the other party. Okay, the fear of the other side who will be using the chat GPT or the generative AI that I will be installing as part of the customer or client service. And the fear is basically that privacy. So I'd like you to.
Well, you know, privacy has always been something that is questioned for a lot of businesses and business owners, even regular individuals.
Which one?
Organizations.
She had a question. If you try to get a microphone.
As a person that has already access to information, like myself, I have like millions of data that I have
Wala
as
na
an
tayong
asset
time eh.
throughout the years that I manage. Privacy is
Naamoy ko na
always
yung
about
dinner.
trust.
Sabi ko, naamoy ko na yung dinner.
So you need to trust a provider
So I'll
for you
just
to
ask
be
the
able
my Miss
to
Universe question.
use a specific service.
Para for
Unfortunately,
everyone
that's the
to
way it
post
is.
it.
Even the biggest company in the world, Google or Yahoo or whatever, Facebook was in a big scandal before about the Cambridge thing. We don't have anything in ourselves here that we can do about it, right? So I guess bottom line is we protect ourselves by not giving too much personal information. But in this kind of information age, if you're not doing anything wrong, then you don't need to worry about anything, right? So that's my take about it. I don't worry on something that you can't do anything about. That's a good. That's a recommendation from a good friend of mine from India who's now in the US, Tariq. And don't worry on things you don't have control. Boy. And we use the technology at hand. You use Google, you use Gmail, you use Yahoo, everybody uses Facebook, right? So Google has our data, Facebook has our data, yeah, ChatGPT has our data. So if you don't want to use it, don't use it. We don't have any choice.
Thank you so much for your final question. And as much as we would like to accommodate more questions, we're running out of time. We have to close this soon. And so I really appreciate for making my life easier, asking better questions and questions that will really help us help you support you. And for more like information around data privacy, cybersecurity, and AI or whatnot, we will be having a conference here in the Philippines in July 23 to 24. So do join us there. We will be sharing with you more information on what to expect and what to learn from those program as well. So thank you so much to our audience we really appreciate your amazing questions, and of course our panelists here who shared with us a lot of enlightening insights. And but before that, as per usual, in all my conversations, in all my interviews, I would always ask before I end my interview with this Miss Universe question. So this goes for everyone. Maybe Lorraine can go first. In one sentence, what is your key piece of advice for organizations taking to successfully align business transformation with their unique needs and thrive in this evolving landscape?
Well, well, talking about earlier, as per my discussions a while ago, with regards to logistics, service, try to reassess your internal operation and try to also take the crunch of the numbers that you have right now and think of it like if doing outsourcing, if it's feasible and helpful and more efficient with regards to your logistics side. That's all I can say.
Thank you. Well,
What was the question again?
in one sentence, what is your key piece of advice for organizations looking into successfully aligning their business transformation with the unique needs and thrive in this evolving landscape?
This is difficult because I've never entered a Miss Universe pageant. The first time I find myself in this situation. But recently I posted on LinkedIn, we have to revisit an old saying. The jack of all trades is a master of learning. If you cannot learn what needs to be learned, you will be left behind.
Thank you.
Well, in my case, is still adapt or evolve. In my presentation, the only way for us to win the game, actually it's not winning it, but to perpetuate the game. And the way for us to really perpetuate is let us evolve and let us be agile. Thank you.
Thank you. Kernan?
Ano pa madadagdag ko yan?
Naubos na.
But yeah, for me, really is be open-minded on growth. 2024 is really for everybody to really grasp grow together. And for me, in our businesses, bottom line is, of course, how we can take care of our customers and we can take ourselves as well. So number one thing that you always need to consider is how can you continue taking care of your customers? That's the number one rule of any business. And then, of course, that because that's in your mind, all the rest would follow. Like you find ways for you to become efficient, find tools to make you become more efficient because you want to take care of your customers better. So you focus on that. Number one rule, take care of your customers, and the rest would actually follow. But okay, you ask me, how would I do that? So if you don't open up yourself with such new ideas from the panel, you will not take care of your customers, in short, because you're not open to such ideas. So going back to basics, take care of your customers. Everything will follow. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. And to summarize, of course, this conversation, I would say what I got from what the four of you said is really so much around customer centricity and continuously adapting, evolving, and learning to be able to transform the business successfully. So thank you everyone, to our live participants, our social media participants, as well as our Zoom participants. Thank you so much, and we hope we have able to add value to you. And for our in-person participants, it's time for dinner.
Meron pa closing remarks. Awarding.
Okay.
Thank you